Stillness, abundance, love, and light, health, and wholeness to the family. Stillness, abundance, love, and light, health, and wholeness to the family. Stillness and abundance, love, and light, health, and wholeness to the family. You know, I feel y'all as much as I feel y'all presence as much as some of y'all may miss mine. You hear me? That's why I'm present right now. You heard? And that's only gonna mean something to those who it means something to. You hear me? Salute to the Cosmic Conscious Family and Soul Tribe. I appreciate y'all who support the channel. You hear me? I appreciate y'all who support the merch. I appreciate y'all for being y'all wherever y'all at. And for those of you who know who you are, you know who you are. You hear me? I appreciate us on all levels, you know. I want to remind us that's important to remember how to see the beauty in ourselves. You know, we it's not the world that's ugly. When I say we in an ugly world, it's not the world that's ugly. You know, it's the people that populate it that make it ugly, as well as it's the people that populate it that make it beautiful. You hear me? And and depending upon how we experience this thing called life, more so depending on how we allow this thing called life to shape our perception, gonna have a lot to do with how it has a lot to do with how it has affected us in the past. Has everything to do with how it affects us in the present, and gonna have a whole lot more to do with how we project it into what will become our future through each and every present moment. If you don't listen, you're gonna miss it, but walk with me. I say that because it ain't no time limit to healing. You know, it ain't no time limit to healing. And I'm gonna say it again, it ain't no time limit to healing. And if you growing, it's only because you healing. Or let me rephrase that. If you growing from the inside out and learning more how to master your reality by the work that you do inside, it's only because you healing. You hear me? And I say that because it's somebody who need to hear it, as well as a reminder to myself. You know, that's some reassurance, wherever it may be needed. And there ain't nothing wrong with some reassurance. We all need some reassurance, you know, sometime. You know, some more than others, but we all need some reassurance. It ain't nothing wrong with being reassured. It ain't nothing wrong with wanting to be reassured. You hear me? It's a good thing to balance. Let me put it like that. And I say that because I made erroneous choices, and I made some wrong turns. But it's a part of living, you know. It's so much a part of living that growth is my motivation, and self-mastery is the mission. Now that's gonna mean something to somebody who it means something to, you know. And some of y'all may have to rewind it, and it ain't nothing wrong with that. Self-mastery is the mission. Growth is the motivation. Self-mastery is the mission. So you don't even gotta rewind it. I rewinded it for you. You know, it's all about self-mastery. Well, ain't it? And if that be the case, self-mastery deal with two forces, whether you call it good or bad, light and dark, masculine and feminine. It deal with two forces, and our ability as well as our capacity to balance those two forces through our everyday experiences, through our everyday living, through our physical reality. You know, it has a lot to do with why I say, you know, to the ancestors. When I reflect back on the things I used to hear, you know, the elders say, the great grandmothers, you know, and the great aunties and great uncles, you know, and great for those who get a chance to experience a great grandmother alive. You hear me? And learn some lessons from them. They hold a lot of wisdom. They hold a lot of history. You know, they hold a lot of keys to us. So to those of us who have ancestors, older ancestors and elders around, tap in. It's important to tap in. You hear me? You'll learn so much about yourself. You know, it's too late. It's too late to say I wish I would've after they're gone, for whoever need to hear that. You know, but growth is the motivation. Self-mastery is the mission. You know, and if you listening, you know how important that is. Not by what you want to experience, but by what you already been through and made it. You hear me? You matter too. You matter too. And for whatever reason, I'm led to say that. Beyond somebody needing to hear it, you need to know that you matter too. You hear me? And I make it a habit of being consistent with reminding myself that I matter too. Because it's so easy to get caught up in opposing ways, you know, and polarizing energies, you know, that we have to move through, that we think through, that we vibrate through. If you listen, and you know, you won't miss it. And if you know, you know. But that we have to operate and cooperate with on many levels, you know. And it's work. It's work. You know, it's work. Self-mastery is a mission, and self-mastery take work. You know, it take awareness. Self-mastery take focus. It take concentration. You know, it take discipline. Can't forget that one. It take discipline to master you. You know, it take discipline to master you. I'm gonna say it again. You know, do we ever really get outside our own shoes to look back at ourselves, to see how hard, in some senses, that we have made it for other people to deal with us, if you ain't made it pleasant. So if we have made it hard for other people to deal with us, then if you're brutally honest with yourself, you already know what it takes for you to deal with you, to look at them things and you know, to look at them things, out of all the things, the ugly and the pretty. But you know what it takes to look at all them things in you and make a choice from the things that you see, you know. But you matter too, and some of y'all need to tell yourself that a little more, you know, every now and then, you know. And some of us need to tell ourselves that on the daily. I matter too, you know. Say it to yourself right now. I matter too. Because it's a part of ourselves, and some of us that, because it's so uncomfortable to us, make us feel silly about even saying it. And that's why we need to do it. You matter too. You hear me? Yeah, it's amazing how life is a learn as you go process. Life is a learn as you grow process, and I'm just happy. You hear me? I feel good for no reason at all to be happy. You don't listen, you're gonna miss it. But it's amazing how life is a learn as you grow process. You know, and we get to do it together. No matter how separated we may think we is in this thing we call life, we get to do it together. You hear me? We get to do it together. I just want to remind us to continue to check in with ourselves, you know, so we don't get lost along the way. You hear me? Whichever way we may be going, you know. However you traveling, remind yourself to check in with yourself. You know, remember to do that. You heard? You know, it's you know, it's about all of us. We all are a resource. You know, good, bad, or different. We all are a resource because we are all a part of the source. You hear me? You know, or even better way to say that, we all are a resource because we carry the source inside of us. You know, what are we gonna do with it? It's what's gonna make it count. What we do with it is what leaves legacies, good, bad, or indifferent. You know, every legacy that was left wasn't a legacy of high regard. You hear me? You know, what are we gonna do to turn up? What are we gonna do to turn up from level to level? You hear me? But I just came to be transparent. You know, it's been a few days. I came to be transparent, and encourage us to be transparent. If you ain't living from a place of transparency, you know, continue self-improving, continue self-fitness, you know, continue shadow work. You hear me? Continue all those things. Meditation. If you don't meditate, start meditating. Visualization. Whatever help, whatever it takes for you to be better than you was 5 seconds ago. Concentrate on that thing. You hear me? You hear me? It's never a roof to growth, you know. But like I said, I just came to be transparent and encourage it, be a motivation as well as an inspiration for all who come across this channel to be transparent. Because when you live your life from a space where you don't have to cast illusions about who you really are, people appreciate it. You hear me? People can see it, you know, as well as people will be triggered by it. But neither of those are neither here or there. My point is, keep going. You're moving in the right direction. Keep going. You're moving in the right direction. You hear me? If you're becoming a better version of yourself, that means you're becoming better than you've never been. So I repeat, keep going. You're moving in the right direction. I encourage you to keep going because this path requires us to be able to look in the mirror of ourselves and choose to still walk through the fire, you know, so all the bullshit can be burned off. So hopefully, I won't even say hopefully, who gonna need to hear it will hear it. You know, stillness in abundance, love and light, health and wholeness. I ain't come to talk y'all ears off, but I just came to say something. You hear me? You can't start to hear the process until you own up to your own mistakes. So I salute those of you who have. I salute those of you who do, you know, because nobody perfect, you know. If we don't make a mistake today, we may make one next week. But whenever that comes about, have the courage to own up to your mistakes because that's what it takes. It proves self-honesty. Feel good for no reason at all. I love y'all. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the like. Thanks for the shares. Thanks for the subscribes. Thanks for the new subscribers. I appreciate y'all. I know I ain't said it in a minute. You know, I get outside myself sometimes, but I do appreciate y'all and I want y'all to know that. And remember, even unconditional love requires boundaries. You hear me? Self-love is the best love, but that don't come at the exclusion of others. Peace. I love y'all. My name is Sawu.